Again, hello all, and welcome to another episode of my in-car series, Season 3, Episode 4. Got that right, because sometimes I lose track of the numbers. Yeah, so you'll be wondering why I'm in a different car. And in my dad's car, it's a Ford Focus. My car's in for the engine repair work, like I mentioned on the last episode of in-car series. It's going to be getting the engine rebuilt, basically, to get the oil control rings on the piston rings upgraded, hydraulic timing chain tensioner upgraded. So the control rings for the piston rings just eliminate the excessive oil burning. The compression rings on the piston rings was fine, so the engine was producing plenty of power. It was running fine. It wasn't losing compression that way. It was the oil consumption that was burning too much oil due to the oil control rings. There's probably other leaks as well, but with the engine getting rebuilt, as I mentioned before, I tend on keeping the hold of the car for quite some time, especially with this, the value of the petrol cars going up now. For the ULEZ, don't get me started on that. I hate ULEZ and I don't like it, but it's a thing that if they did scrap ULEZ, I'd be worried of what they'd replace it with. The fear of the unknown is fearful and a concern, because you don't know what to prepare for. So if they scrap ULEZ, what are they going to replace for something worse? It's better the devil you know. I don't like ULEZ. It's just I won't get started on that. But anyway, in case that's why you're wondering why it's a different car. So, and then Dad's give us a shot of his car for I get messages and stuff. I could do an in-car series on this just to update you with what I'm doing with the channel. What I've been doing lately. Now, there's a viewer, a passenger that got on my bus a couple of days ago and recognised me from the channel and wanted me to give him a mention. So I will do. I'll give you a mention. He says, he asked me if I could give him a mention on my next video. So this is my next video, so therefore I will do. I said I would. So this goes out to Blair. So Blair, you asked for a mention, I'll give you a mention now. So thank you for being a subscriber or a viewer. I don't know. I didn't get a good conversation with you because you were just getting off the bus and you just sort of recognised me and asked if I could give you. But I don't know if you've subscribed or not. If you did, that'd be really nice if you do. If you want to subscribe, feel free. But you're obviously a viewer, so yes. Thanks for being a viewer, and if you've subscribed, thanks for being a subscriber. So Blair, hello Blair. So hope you liked the message. So I've just bought messages from the Tesco's and going away. I go up the road. I can't really stay too long. I've got other arrangements, but just to give you a wee update on what I'm doing. So this is a Ford Focus sitting in my own car, the Skoda Octavia Mark II. It's getting the work done on the engine. So, and I do invest on keeping it for the reasons as I said about the ULEZ, because it complies. It's a Euro 5 car, meets the ULEZ money making scam, rip off, war on motorist, freedom destroyer, ULEZ shite. So it meets their even though it meets their standards, I still don't like ULEZ because it's all bloody obvious what they're going to be doing next. I mean, it's obvious they're just going to tighten the buckle up, isn't it? So ULEZ, I'll be suddenly Euro 5, and then it'll be Euro 6, and then they'll eliminate it. It's just a take away your freedoms as far as I'm concerned. I hate ULEZ. I know people that have got to think of the businesses that will get destroyed because they can't afford to upgrade their vehicles. It's just basically a war on war. It's a war on freedom. That's what it is. It's the global reset. It's just part of their agenda, as far as I'm concerned. It's a load of But anyway, I don't want to get started on this ULEZ. They've actually begun preparations here in Dundee for it, despite protests elsewhere against ULEZ. I see they put the paintwork in there, cameras on the road. There is a thing called Blade Runner. Apparently, I've seen things online regarding Blade Runner, and it's their purpose is to find out where these cameras are, and as they said in their own words, deal with it. So, and I've seen like footage online that suggests that, you know, that they're taking it down, and, you know, the thing is, vandalism and taking it down, you know, it's put it this way, I'd like to see ULEZ going, scrapped completely, but like I said earlier, what do they replace it with? You know, obviously it's a fruit of war on motorists. They just want to steal people's freedom, especially those that can't afford it. You know, but what they're going to replace it with? Obviously, they're not just going to scrap it and say, yeah, I'll be like that. They're not going to do that. They'll scrap it and replace it with something harder. It's just like, for example, this vandalism, right? Vandalism will result in may result in tougher laws, which will take away even more of our freedoms and cost us more money. I mean, I'd like to say, I want to see the ULEZ just buggering off completely and never coming back, but it's the fear of the unknown that concerns me, because they're obviously not going to give it away and say, oh, you can have your freedom and it's not going to happen. What the fuck? They're not going to do that. They'll just invent something else to steal your freedom, rip the motorist off, and just make, you know, anyway. But no, they're obviously, if they did scrap it, you don't know what they're going to replace it with. It could be worse, you know. But they're obviously not going to do it anyway. You know, they don't, despite the reports of all the protests that have gone on. You know, they're obviously not interested. They've done it anyway, so that, as far as I can say, they don't give a shite. They've just done it anyway. They're not getting a bug as long as they're not affected, as long as they can still get about it. You know what I mean? They're going to bother about those that can't. It's just do it anyway. One template fits all. Like it, I don't know, like what I disagree with anyway, as far as like that principle's concerned. But anyway, I don't know why I'm going about it. It just annoys me, angers me. It really does, because it's just stealing freedoms as far as I'm concerned. And the thing is, the wind will blow the emissions elsewhere. And what does that mean? They'll just extend ULEZ elsewhere. I mean, okay, they knock the emissions out of the towns, centres, but then it's just going to create a problem elsewhere. And then problem reaction solution, they'll just then introduce it there as well, elsewhere as well. And then the wind will just blow the emissions places around it. If they prevent it in one area, doesn't the wind carry emissions? But yeah, anyway, I don't want to get wound up with it. I just see it as a... But anyway, it's a principle. But as I say, vandalism, as much as I hate ULEZ, vandalism costs us, because they'll just use that as an excuse to toughen the laws even more on the already tough laws that are there. That are basically designed to steal, you know, more monitor, more cameras, more putting people under suspicion for even just hanging about. Or what you're hanging about there? Are you going to be able to destroy that camera or something? Kind of more suspicion, but even though you aren't, like, it just means that there'll be more uprate powers to, you know, control us basically. Vandalism, you know, cost us anyway, won't it? And even still, it's really, they're not going to back down. Even if they do vandalism, they'll just keep putting it up, and they'll use that as a levy, an excuse to tighten laws up. But okay, some have heard on a reply once that it's no vandalism, it's taking the power back. You know, there's all different views on it, fair enough. But I want to see it go, obviously, fully. I would enjoy watching one of these things getting ripped down and just getting it away for a year. I hate the ULEZ. Okay? But say, I think if it may happen that if they did vandalise it, keeps going like that, they'll toughen the laws up even more, isn't it? Use that as a levy to do it. But come on, I just realised something. I've been swearing a lot in this video. So sorry, because I gave a... If you've watched my videos, you'll probably know I've been... Okay, I ranted a bit there, but I forgot that the you know, there's younger people watching it. I mean, I forget, if somebody's forgetting, I got wound up. But, anyway, never mind that. forget that. Just anyway, the car's in for repair. Hope to keep it a long time. The value will go up because I mean, like diesel cars before 2015 are just going to be worth peanuts in a winter. Who's going to buy it because they've just stole the freedoms of it? If you've got an old car before pre-Euro 6 with a diesel, you're effed. I mean, how are you going to get in with paying a ridiculous £12.50 every time you go in, every day you go in? Well, you know, that's like £84. What's that, 87.50 a week if you go in every day. It's just a joke. On top of this rip-off that we're being ripped off anyway for paying a road tax for roads that are just a bloody mess. You know, full of potholes that wreck your car, wreck your suspension, wreck your tyres. The road markings are absolutely. You go to places when you depend on road markings and road signs, you can't even see them, and you're paying road tax. And anyway, they just stick you for other things anyway, congestion charges and parking charges, rip off fuel prices, blah, the list goes on, you know. The motorists will never get rid of it anyway because it's a piggy bank. They'll just, if they want money, they just rip the motorists off, you know, because people are, I can't say for everybody, but it's like we're brainwashed or hypnotised into a love affair with the motor. I mean, a lot of people will be depending on it as well, you know. We'll love it. If you're a motorist, you're spending scandalous, ridiculous amounts of money that we do to run a car, then you obviously, you know, we like it. It's worth spending that money on it. So we've kind of like got attached to it. So we just keep on spending it astronomical. Like that test that they done, me testing the water by putting the prices sky high. They done it in 2008 as well. Ripped it up, you know, 150 odd a litre back then, but dearer in some places. 2008, and just recently it was up to over £2 odds. There's a garage that I went to there when I was down at the services. They were charging, and that's just last week, they were charging over £2 a litre for petrol. And if people keep paying it, you know, they're willing to spend it. You know, it's kind of like a money, it's psychology really. They know that people spend money on that because if nobody done it, if everybody's just stopped saying that we're not going to do it, we can't anyway because we've allowed ourselves to be trapped, because we are trapped. We just allowed ourselves to be trapped. You know, the business, etc. You can't afford not to. All the rest of it. And even then, there's no mention of people that just enjoy motoring. It's like freedom. That's why we spend money on it. Well, some may, I don't know. I can't. When I see people on May and all the rest of it, I can't speak for everybody. I don't know about everybody's. I just know about mine. I can't judge mine for others on my situations. I mean, I like driving, I like the freedom, I like just going in my car and going to places I feel like that's what a car's about, but there's no much defence on that. You know, it's always like, obviously businesses come first, you know, for somebody's business, but then the desire, let's work hard for a car to run around, for the freedom to explore the world that we were brought into, you know, and that's the means that we use. So, just down here, there's a it's just but anyway, I mean, there's no point in going on about it because, you know, it's all planned out anyway. As far as I'm concerned, I'll never vote. I mean, I don't believe in it anyway. It's just a waste of time. But it's not going to change nothing. This has probably all been planned out hundreds of years ago. You know, history, we get taught history, but we were there. Weren't we there? Or we was just going with what it was probably planned out well before. It's all just unfolding. It'll make hee-haw difference what you vote in. It's just a different face for the powers that are in control anyway. I mean, and we just, you know, think we've got up there saying no matter what, make us feel better, keep us drip fed with this hope that, anyway, who cares? It's not going to make any difference anyway, really. What's the point? It's not going to change it. It's sod all. We've done it all our times anyway. We've been spending this amount of money on being a motorist and all the rest of it. And, you know, rip off. If you've got a one garage, they know that, like pricing as well, and supermarkets, they know how to rip people off. They have you spending more for less, but they'll deliberately have somewhere else in the store, same product, where you can actually get it much cheaper. Do we do the research into it, or do we get caught out by it? I think they know that we get caught out by it, so they do it. We're not being caught out by it. And then we go into certain shops, get the same product, elsewhere, you know, for half the price, and we still do it. And we know that that's how psychology works. Anyway, I've got a few things to get on me, but never mind that. I know we're on about it. But I know along back from my Wales excursion, I've done a heck of a lot. I put up 11 videos in a row, but 10 of the Wales excursion ones. And then I put up Dalton Towers, and then I'm going to put this one up as well. So I didn't really have a plan. I just thought, well, I've got a lot to do, and I remembered Blair wanted to mention. So hello Blair, excuse my rants. I'm just ranting about ULEZ because I've evidently seen paintwork on the road. They're introducing it. It's going ahead next year in Dundee, and it's just really angered me because I hate it, because it's obvious. I'm not going to go near me. I'm not going to stop at my house, but I'm just going to stop randomly, just somewhere in here, because I don't do it. I've got a few things to go on. I'm going to round the video off soon. But yeah, it's obviously coming here, and it's not very obvious what they're going to do next. Like, I mean, you'd have to. It's obvious that they're going to tighten the buckle up. Yeah, Euro 4 cars, petrols will pass for now until probably next year, and suddenly it'll go up to 5, then it'll go up to 6, then all the cars that are over 10 year old will be eliminated, then it'll have to be fully electric, and of course fully electric cars are dear as it is to buy initially. Then of course you've got the problem with all the charge points, and of course they're going to rip people off once they've got an electric. Naturally, they get everybody sucked in. It's like the self-service tills. They work great to get everybody sucked into it, you know, to start with, and then they start having all the glitches, and then it's just like business as usual, the usual shits. You know, it's just to suck people in, like, you know? It's not going to be any difference with this. And then they just want to take away our freedoms, and then they'll start, suddenly, oh, there's a problem with electric cars, oh, we'll have to add a tax on that, oh, there'll be this and that and everything else, just to rip people off. Well, yeah, that was the point. It makes no bloody difference. You go on about it until you're blue in the face. It changes heel. No point in rattling on about it. It's not going to change it. It's sorrow. But, anyway, what's the point? But never mind. Just somebody's let off steam. Just to, you know, you could beat about the bush and word it in certain ways. I've outright directly named the thing that's bloody angered me, even though it's obvious what they're going to do. It's just a part of the plan to rip people off and steal freedoms, like lots of things are just designed to do that in the name of climate change. I've mentioned that as well. Yeah, okay, climate change. I mean, there's things, depending on what argument you can look at it, that change is natural layer, it's done by carbon dioxide, it's done by whatever, blah, blah, blah. How often have we actually researched into it ourselves? And even the instruments we use, if we did, how do you know that they're going to be accurate? And how do you know exactly what we're analysing? What we've been taught, how to do it? You know, or they play on with emotions. You know, they go on about things like it saves, stuff like that, but then they allow other things to go and it could cause deaths and that, you know. I'm not a smoker, I'm not going to mention much, but certain things are sanctioned, but then they target others, like motorists. They'll target motorists, but they'll allow other things to go and it could cause harm, which is allowed, you know. And then you've got other arguments on it. Again, I don't like using other information that I haven't researched, and even though I'm doing it because it's hypocritical, really, because I'm saying that we should go do it ourselves first hand and then referring to someone else's research to back against another thing, like, you know, like for example, they're saying that there's vehicles produce X amount of contributes so much to the pollution levels. You know, it might not be as much as they're making it out to be. It's just demonising the motorists, basically. You know, there's other, then you see other countries could do it worse, you know, more. But I see in using information that's I haven't actually searched myself, and just referring to stuff that this research that's already been searched. I learned that from a channel actually that I watched. It pretty much nailed it on my head. I like the way, I wouldn't name the channel for confidential reasons, but I watched the channel that actually made me think the way the channel worded it, you know, research and search. To search into something, that's how you go and do it first hand, but to research is to research over something that's already searched. But where's the actual, you know, first hand information that you've done it into? Anyway, so that's 20 minutes, that'll be enough. Anyway, I'm going to just keep it short because I've got other things to do. So the channel's got other things coming up that will put this video up. So let's say mention goes out to Blair. So I hope you enjoy the other videos. You might not like this one because it's a bit. I kind of ranted about ULEZ, you know. I didn't. Sometimes I just don't have a plan at all. I just put it on because I hadn't made an in-car for a while, and I thought, well, I'm in my dad's car, so I'm gonna, you know, do one in here because I could refer back to it as well, like, yeah. And I'll say, oh, this is when I had my shop, dad's car, and my car's in for repair, partly because of the, well, I mean, I like the car anyway, but because of ULEZ, because of that, the cars, the diesel cars before 2015 will be worth bugger all, because who's going to want one now? And all the petrol cars that are 20-year-old, well, okay, 2006, nearly 18-year-old, will suddenly skyrocket in price. They'll be worth gold. So if I were to sell the car that I bought nearly 4 and a bit year ago, I get peanuts for it because it's a high mileage car, it's an old car, I give you a couple of quid for it, you know, there you go, that's it. But then we'll go and sell it for more than what I paid for it 5 years ago because it's ULEZ compliant. I even hate using that word compliant because it's almost like, you know, giving it, complying with the power, like, you know, going back a few years ago, it was a compliant. But yeah, because it's Euro 5. My car is a Euro 5. The other Octavia's, the earlier ones before 2009 are Euro 4, so it's right on the border. It's obvious they're going to put it up, like, isn't it? It's obvious, isn't it? I mean, they're going to steal people's food, rip people's motor, rip the motorists off and get them to, you know. So yeah, it's obvious that it's going to go up, isn't it? It's not going to just stay Euro 4 indefinite, is it? So I think sooner than later it'll just go up to, oh, Euro 4 are no longer allowed and they'll be hit with the charge. Oh, the wind will blow the emissions away from the city centre because it's obvious that the wind's just going to carry the emissions problems. The cars will congest outside this ULEZ and park and cause a bottleneck outside the ULEZ zones. So it's just keeping the problems there, and the people there will be up in arms about it. Oh, no, we're suddenly getting a problem with emissions, so-called emissions. By the way, I haven't actually rated emissions, just saying it's emissions. They're saying that it's contributing to greenhouse gases and all that stuff. But then they'll go, oh, well, we're suddenly getting a problem. Oh yeah, oh, we'll make ULEZ go up there then. You know, oh, it's not good enough, so we'll make it Euro 5 and then Euro 6 and then Euro 7 and then suddenly anyway. But at the moment, it's Euro 5. Unless you modify the car that vehicle, not just cars, the vehicle that you drive. It's not just cars now because it targets businesses as well. So, you know, from what I've researched online, because I haven't actually went out and asked any the businesses that I saw online. I only researched offline, which is an issue on itself as well, because information off the line is one thing, the reality is another thing. It's what you believe, and that's what works. That's why these things are so popular, because, oh, I don't know how this works, how does this work? Oh, go Google. Oh, Google, good old trusty Google. There's your information. You know, go online, first thing you do. How many people, including me, do you see going around without a device in their hand, or without a device on them? How often? And then if you suddenly get stuck with something, how often do we go to a device, even if it's a calculator, even if it's just to go to Google? How often? I'm not saying, I'm just asking how often. And I know I do it. If I went back before, I was a late starter with technology because I was scared of it, because I'm hopeless with technology anyway. I didn't know how to work these smartphones. I was coerced into getting it because I was going down to Australia back in 2014 and I needed to get a quad band phone. And the only ones that were available were the smartphones, so I had to get a smartphone. And then, of course, because it's designed to get into the psyche, to get you to be addictive, like, I don't know, to dopamine or something, or, you know, obviously these devices are designed to get you addicted to them and hooked to them. No, it's like you know, it's addictive, isn't it? So, and then from there it's like take the easy option that's smart, and then you suddenly see the quality of the pictures and that, you know. But we're having to depend on the device, you know. And then of course your tariffs, you networks. It's all good to start with, and then suddenly they start putting the squeezeners on. The prices go up, the restrictions and regulations start. Come on, it's like electric, you know, the virtual signaling and you know. What does the electric vehicles? Where does the electricity get produced? How does it get produced? What happens to the batteries after, and all that stuff? Is it as good as it's made out to be? You know. But anyway. So I'm gonna just get on with the rest of the tour. Right, that's not good. Okay, catch you later. See you later on. Bye.